Alright, the video I'm going to show you today is of the fog lights I installed on my Triumph Tiger 800 XC. I've had the bike a couple of months. I absolutely love it. And for $300-400 you can get some really expensive, nice head fog lights, which basically work the same as mine, which I installed for $40. That's 40, yes. Now what I did is I actually went to a car store and I bought those two, as you see, those two blue looking fog lights right there. That was actually $19.99 at Advance Auto Parts. They work great. I actually used them on another bike I had. Never had any issues with them. They're bright, they angle very well, and they look cool because of their blue color when they're off. Anyway, I actually mounted them up to the underside of the shroud there for the radiator. As you can see, it just screws right in. I did take the outside shroud off as far as this area here to just put some Loctite on the screws, make sure they don't vibrate out. Then work the wiring up on the inside, as you can see, and tied in the grounds and covered everything in black shrink wrap to hide the color of the wires. Now, I didn't have to take hardly anything as far as body work or tank off or anything. I just literally worked the wires up, down, and through the inside here. As you see the fog light right there, so there's plenty of space to work around. What I did install was obviously all of this tubing and tied it in here, so I made it all look nice and tidy. Now the switch, I have an issue with the switch and I may still swap this out. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's actually a non-exterior, which I made exterior. I haven't found this black little shroud here. Put the switch inside. It's an LED lit light switch. Actually looks pretty cool at night time. And tied everything in. The small bracket that I found was actually off a bicycle that I had for some night lights, and that worked very well. And even though it's a little angry looking, it actually works quite well for now. But I do want something smaller, something I can just put right here. I haven't found one yet. Anyway, so that wired in fine. Now what I did want to do, I did want to make sure that if in the event that I left the motorcycle, I could actually turn the lights off using the ignition. And the way I did that was, down here, if you can see, this is actually connected to the harness on the motorcycle. This is the actual plug connector for the official Triumph fog lights. So therefore this was already keyed into the ignition. So I found that wire with my multimeter and basically tapped into it. I did actually cut them off and disconnect them, and then basically ran the wires down here, and I got this relay here which I just zip tied to the frame from Radio Shack. That was like $8, and linked everything in there. So therefore I was now powered in via the ignition here, and then I ran the actual main feed to the battery back up. Just tied it all, strapped it back behind the frame here. Again, I just fed it through. It was very simple. And fed it up to the inside here. And you see this red wire here is the actual power line, still fused off, tying right back to the positive on the battery. This is the ground wire. Granted, it's a white wire. Didn't have any other wires available that were long enough at the time, so that's what I used and just tagged it off accordingly. But anyway, everything was nice and neat and tidy. So, all in all, including the relay, the switch, and the actual fog lights, the whole thing cost me roughly around $40. Granted, I was pouncing around, taking my time, and it took me a little while to install, basically because I was rigging everything myself. But the end result, as you will see, is quite nice. The blue light comes on. Let's just turn that off for now. And there we are, without the fog lights on, looking pretty aggressive. I really like the way it looks. And then if I turn the light on, nice blue glow, looks kind of cool, like I said, at night time. And as you see, there's the fog lights, looking very impressive and well, happy. And again, if I just switch off the ignition, so that I don't drain the battery by accident. As you see, everything shuts down. So there you go, some pretty impressive auxiliary fog lights for my Triumph Tiger 800 XC, and all of $40. So good luck.